Hi guys, and welcome to today's session. We're going to be carrying on with this monochrome piece that we've been working on for a while now. I think this is maybe the fourth or fifth session. And we're going to be jumping straight into where we kind of left off last week, which was developing the rest of the sort of monochrome evenness across the piece. So I kind of got the correct sense of the kind of grayness of the face last week, but what we want to do now is bring those muted tones into the rest of the painting as well. So over the wash drawing and the sort of heightening that we did, I'm going to be laying in some darker tones, or grayer tones I should say. So we're still using a mixture of our kind of burnt umber, raw umber, black and white. We get up to the edges and I'm allowing that fuzziness that we've been kind of using throughout the piece. And I'm not too fussed if a little bit of the ground shows through, that kind of warmer ground. We want it to generally be more muted, but the warmth showing through adds a kind of nice kind of visual vibrancy to the painting, something that I use quite a lot with a lot of my lessons. So there's a bit of a kind of gradient. It gets gradually lighter as it kind of travels in towards his head. And as we travel down as well, down the canvas. So yeah, the main kind of focus today is we're trying to get rid of this last sort of vestiges of the super warm tones. But we're not trying to completely get rid of all the information that we built up. It's going to be doing a bit more kind of glazing, either lighter or darker tones over what was there originally. That's looking better for the background. Got a bit more kind of feeling of depth to the background because of that sort of gradual lightness going through it. The same kind of tones we can start to lay in sort of down into the shirt, anywhere it's kind of too warm in the shirt, the bow tie as well. Gonna go in and rework this stuff in a little bit more detail by the end of the session, but just for now we'll get these colours shifted slightly. Yeah, that's looking a bit better. So likewise with some darker tones, we can do stuff like get this sort of collar and shadow shaded in a portion of this collar here as well. And I'm also just going to rub a little bit of grey into some of these shadows that we didn't quite reach last week, kind of unifying them slightly, and just obliterating that kind of excessive warmth out of them. So that's looking a bit better. And then the next thing I'm going to do is get some proper darks, mostly kind of just black and a little bit of white. So kind of grey darks into this hair. At the same time I can do a little bit of reshaping down his cheek. Chuck some darker tones elsewhere where necessary. I'm going to go back to some of those lighter greys that mixed up earlier. We're going to blend those into the darks somewhat. I'm going to take a smaller brush, clean it off a little bit. So I'll put some more precise transitions. In place. mixing a little bit more raw umber into my light colour here, a little bit more. Warmth to some of these lights. So that's looking not too bad, I think, up around the hair for now. This pass at least. Certainly got a lot of the colours adjusted, which is good. So I'm going to move down into the clothing now. And that's going to be just mostly like a lot of heavy greys kind of passed over the suit, really. Can also start to build a little bit more form into the kind of sheen on his clothing and on his suit as well. So you can have a little bit more in terms of shine in some parts. And I'm just going to take some pure black now, because we do have some places in the suit where we've got kind of shadows cutting back into stuff. Here, for instance, I'd say it needs to be quite a bit darker underneath the little bow tie as well. Just adding a little bit more detail into the bow tie too. Yes, that's looking better. We're going to do some sort of more glazed passes next week. I'm just gonna, while we're working on this clothing, put a little bit more detail into his tie here. Seems like a good opportunity to do so. The fact that the paint's kind of wet gives it a nice sort of loose, smeary quality. And it also gives a little bit of guidance, so next time if we go back in and we're reworking this stuff, so I'm just going to transition some of these half tones a bit more softly, just using some in-between tones. And yeah, that's looking not too bad. I might just, one final thing, these last few minutes, just pop in a brighter colour for his collar, so go more in for a sort of pure white there, and a bit more sort of pure white down here in his shirt as well. And as I think I've done every session, I'm just going to pop some, try to heighten the highlights in his eyes a little bit as well. And a little bit on the nose. Up there in the head as well. So definitely that's looking better than it was last session. Just with evening out the shadows has helped a lot, I think. Sorry, the sort of tones. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. So yeah, I think we're pretty much there for this session, and in a good position to next week kind of come back to it and start to really work details into all of it, essentially. So it's definitely come together. I've got the right kind of feel, this sort of old-timey kind of painting look, which is quite nice. And yeah, next week we'll be kind of going section by section, starting to render out, particularly around the face, some more specific details. So yeah, that's it for this session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel to sort of see what's coming from me and other teachers at OCAD, and also the students. And you can click the link through to see what sorts of paid qualifications we offer as well. So yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys soon.